Okay, Catskill, Algebra 1 students. Today should be April 2nd, and we're starting kind of a new process here. We're going to be doing some review, and the reason we're doing that, we know it's tough to learn new material online. So we decided we're going to go back, hit all the review now while we can. We usually do this at the end of the year when we're getting ready for the Regents exam. Yeah, we'll do it now instead. So this is Unit 1. A lot of easy questions here. After I get done with this review, then we'll talk about what you have to do to complete your assignment. All right, this first problem, we have Evan is evaluating this product as 60 by finding 5 times 10, adding it to 5 times 2. So he does 5 times 10 and adding it to 5 times 2 instead of doing 5 times 12. What property is that? What is that? Well, I mean, think about this. 12 is 10 plus 2, and what are we doing here? We're doing this property. What's that called? Bringing it in like that. Hopefully you recognize it. You say, hey, that's our distributive property. So this was the unit where we went through all these properties. Real quick, what's the commutative property? I don't know, like 3 plus 4 is the same as 4 plus 3. That's the commutative property. You go back and forth. And the associative property is sometimes called grouping. Grouping, how you group things. So, you know, is 3 plus 4 plus 5 the same thing as 3 plus 4 plus 5. That's the associative property for addition. This is the commutative property. All right, second question. Lillian and Zeke are comparing how much money they have. Zeke has $5 less than half of what Lillian has. If Lillian has M, which of these represents this situation? I don't know. Let's say Lillian's got 20 bucks. What does Zeke have? He's got half of what Lillian has. Well, half of that would be 10. But wait, $5 less than that. He's poor. He's got $5 less. So he would end up with 5. Now, what did I do? I divided by 2 and I subtracted 5. Which one of these says the same thing over here? Divide by 2 first, subtract 5 second. Hopefully it would say choice 1. All right, number 3. This is maybe the toughest question on this whole review. 3x plus 1. 3x plus 1 is equal to 17. The question is, what is 6x plus 1? So I think he called this mindful manipulation if you go back and look in Unit 1. So somehow I have to manipulate this to turn it into that. It almost looks like it's twice as much. Like if I took 3x plus 1 and I doubled it, wouldn't I get 6x? I would, but I'd get 2. I'd get 2 instead of 1. So I'd be like 1 too many, so I have to take away 1. Does that make sense, I hope? You see, if you distribute, there's our distributive property. I'd have 6x plus 2, take away 1, and that would equal this, 6x plus 1. Now, what is this equal to, this thing? 3x plus 1, that's 17. So I'm going to take my pencil and just erase that and replace it with 17. So 2 times 17, take away 1 is what I'm looking for. That's what this is equal to. 2 times 17, that's 34. Take away 1, that's 33. Hopefully that's one of my choices. There it is, choice 2. All right, that was a tough one. Now is an easy one. Now, we've talked about distributive property already. Distributing, usually students think about multiplying in, but you could also divide. You can divide. So you could do this 8x over 10 plus 30 over 10. I'm distributing. Well, 30 over 10, that's the easy one. I'll do that. That's 3. So I bet you it's either choice 1 or choice 2. And then what is 8 over 10? 8 over 10, if you reduce that, is 4/5. 4/5. So choice 2. All right. Number 5. When this is added to that, when 2x minus 5 is added to the other expression, what is the result? There's that distributive property again. 6x minus 15, distribute, 8 minus 2x. What do I get? I don't know. Put the like terms together. 6 take away 2, that's 4x. Negative 15 plus 8. I mean, we got calculators if you want to use it. You can just use a basic calculator. I know you might not have the graphing calculator, basic calculator, but negative 15 plus 8 gives you negative 7, which is choice 3. All right, going to the back. All right, exponents. All right, how am I going to do this? Well, 3 times negative 2, you can put those together. In fact, I'm going to do a step that most students are not going to show. I'm going to put those together. I'm going to associate those, and then I'm going to associate the exponents. So I just use my associative property and commutative property to move things around. This turns into negative 6. And I got 7x's here and 3x's there. Hopefully you remember you got to add those up. So I'm looking for negative 6, x to the 10th. Choice 2. All right, something we spent a lot of time on this year. Don't forget to write this out twice. X plus 5 times itself. That'll help you remember that, oh, this is a FOIL problem. Or maybe some of you did the box method for multiplying. That's also acceptable, but I'm going to do FOIL. First times first, x squared, outer, 5x, inner, 5x, last times last, 25. So I'm going to get x squared. These add up to 10x plus 25. Choice 1. No more multiple choice, so we're going to have to just solve these. So this is kind of like that other one I did a minute ago. Got to distribute. Now the tricky part here, it's not in the beginning. I mean, I get 8x plus 28. It's that negative 3. Don't forget to bring the negative sign in. Negative 3x, and a negative times a negative is a positive 3. Combine the 8x and the 3x. 8 take away 3, that's 5. 28 plus 3 is 31. There's our simplified expression. All right, back to FOIL. Or again, maybe I'll do the box this time. So you could do the FOIL, but you could also, if you like to do this, you can write either one of these on top. 3x minus 2, 2x minus 11, and fill in these boxes. It's the same thing, first, outer, inner, last, but we get 6x squared, 2x times that, negative 2, negative 4x, negative 11 times 3x, negative 33x, negative times a negative is a positive 22. These are like terms, so my final answer, 6x squared minus 37x plus 22. All right, last one. Multiply these together, all right, and then put it in AXB form, and then we got to do something else. But first we got to multiply these together. So first of all, that's a square, so be careful. Write that out twice. So I got to square it, which means multiply it by itself. And then I still got this negative 5x to the 4th. All right, just like last time, I'm not going to write it out, but 2 times negative 5. I'm going to put all those together. 2 times 2 is 4 times negative 5. Negative 20. 3x is here, 3 more there, that's 6, 4 more there, that's 10. So I got this, AXB. So I mean, what is A? A is negative 20, and what is B? B is 10. What is the value of A plus B? If you took the negative 20 and you added it to 10, you would get negative 10. It's a little tricky there at the end, but just multiplying again, simplify. Okay, so now if you look at your Google Classroom, there's another worksheet, and it says independent work, okay? And basically, it's the same number of problems, very similar to the ones I just went over, so if you get stuck, you could probably go back on this YouTube video and watch me do it again. Like I said, number 3 was tough. There's another tough one. You could watch how I did it. And how are you going to hand this in? I mean, if you have a printer, go ahead and print it out, but most of you are probably just going to look at it on the computer, and you might just go like this. You might say, hey, problem number 1, you figure it out, and you go, I think it's choice blank. I'm not going to say what it is. And then problem number 2 is that one. Problem number 3, I got this. Problem number 4, here's my answer. Problem number 5, here's my answer. Problem 6, here's my answer. I think there's 7 multiple choice questions. Yes. Okay, and then you get to the free response, so you get here to number 8, and you're going to maybe recopy it and say, okay, number 8, 6 parentheses, 3x plus 1 minus 2, 4x minus 5. And you're going to do some work, do some math, and you're going to come up with an answer. And you do the same thing for 9, you do the same thing for 10. So some free response questions. What are you going to do? Take a picture of this, your answers. Make sure to throw your name on it, although it'll be attached. But go into Google Classroom and attach it to the assignment. Send it back to us. We'll look at it. We'll be very generous with the grade. So, we're just looking for a good effort, that you did all the problems, you tried them. If you're really struggling, you should ask questions. You can post comments in the Google Classroom. And then we'll repeat this process for the next few days. You should have a calendar with a whole schedule of where we're going with this. All right, that's it for today. Be safe.